Cool. So we are here with Callum, one of our great students from the Blueprint, and just going to share some results and some insights on how Callum joined the program. He did a testimonial video for us maybe, I think 6 to 8 months ago now, when he was doing 30 to 40K a month. Since then, I think you can probably agree everything has changed.
We've taken it to a new level, I would say.
You've scaled massively.
Yeah.
So yeah, just want to really take it back from the start. So you joined the Blueprint 12 months ago. You started doing what? Like you joined us when you were doing 1K a month, 500 quid a month, 1K a month. You were basically just testing the water, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, kind of thing. You joined the Blueprint in December.
It was signed up in, I think it was late December, like just before Christmas, we signed up.
Yeah.
And I think we got our first ever sale right at the start of January.
Yeah, so that's pretty fast actually.
Yeah, so I'll consider like the first 2 months like learning period.
Yeah.
Then February was like, all right, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let's lock in. Then it went to like 20K in February.
Wow.
And then March, April, May, I'll say, were all like 10K increments each time.
Okay, so you went from like 20 to 30 to 40.
Yeah. And then that's when it like really took off to like 60 in the summer.
And this was while you were still operating from your home,
from
a residential address, from your garage.
And not like largely from my own resources as well.
Okay, yeah. So you hadn't raised any funds at this point, really?
No, I'll say, I think I was a little bit different. I was quite fortunate. I had a decent amount of capital to begin with. But that's when I realised, okay, the importance of raising money. That's when it comes in, you know.
So you sort of plateaued at that 60 a month, and that's where you found like the bottlenecks, I guess.
I would say so, yeah.
Probably your bottlenecks, I assume, were probably packing. Like you was just probably spending a lot of time packing, obviously, from a residential address. Yeah, it can be quite hard sometimes, especially when you're doing 60K a month. Like it's a lot of product, a lot of pallets, like in and out. Like,
of course, yeah.
Was you doing all the prep yourself at that point, or?
So I had my sister, who's a few years younger than me, prepping. I would say during like the summer holidays, she was doing quite a bit. I paid her maybe about 20 hours a week for about 6 weeks. I would say that's all I had. Yeah. Otherwise, it was me.
Yeah.
And a large part of the reason that I moved was because of that. Yeah, I couldn't do it in Lincolnshire, the middle of nowhere anymore. And also like after, doing like 10K increments each month, after like June, there was like a bit of a plateau. Okay. July, August, maybe even September as well. We were doing like 50, 60K consistently, but there was no increase. And I thought, why is that?
Yeah. But it's probably because of packing. You were spending too much time actually involved in the day-to-day runs of the business. You wasn't focused on the higher value tasks.
Exactly.
You needed to raise finance, but you then understood that and took it to the next level to where you're at now. So you scaled from that 50 to 60K per month point to pretty much 100K a month very quickly, I would say. Like that was only in, I think, September time, and then you moved to Manchester.
Manchester, which isn't the cheapest place to move to. Like I would say after London, there's probably no other place in the UK that's more expensive.
And
I think I needed that just for like the pressure. Like I needed that back against the wall pressure, like you talk about. And it worked, I would say, because my best ever month was October/November.
Okay, yeah.
We hit over 100K in 30 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which was double what we were doing before.
So going from like September, from like 50 to 60K, to moving to Manchester, moving it into a new warehouse, taking on your first member of staff, so then going straight to 100K a month
it was surreal. It
pretty incredible.
It took a while to sink in. And I knew it was like, you got the Q4 boom, of course. Like, that was the first time I've experienced it. Starting in January, I never really felt how big it is. Still like keeping that same momentum though going into the new year. Like we're doing well, we're doing way better than we were before we left. And now we're moving in Manchester as well. So
that's cool. So consistently right now, 12 months into your Amazon journey, pretty much, you're consistently doing 100K months pretty much. And you've got I think the most exciting thing is you've got the vision of like where you can take it. You've got, going from 0 to 100K a month in 12 months is pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
But you've got the vision of going from like 100K to 200K to 300K to 500K to $1 million a month.
Yeah.
Like you've got the capabilities to do that, and you understand the bottlenecks. It's just a process of scaling now.
100%.
So like your current setup really looks like you've got the warehouse in Manchester. How many staff members do you have?
We have one who I'm this week I'm actually looking on bringing on a new like part-time member.
Okay, yeah.
I've got a few lined up, but I think there's gonna be 1 or 2 coming in this weekend.
Yeah.
That's my main job for the week. But we've got like one nearly full-time staff member on board. But like you said, like after getting the 3 main milestones of the business, like warehouse, VAT, I'll say getting a good accountant in, which can be really tricky, which I found really hard. Once you got all that locked down, there's nothing else really difficult to do. Like it's just scaling.
So how have you found the support system in the community and like the support system from us in getting you from that, like pretty much from like the zero to 100K a month?
I'll admit it's from zero, pretty much.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
I had very, very little belief in myself to do it alone.
Yeah.
Whereas when we joined you guys, it took us to a different level, like mentally as well. Mainly because of like the relatability. Yeah. Like you've been through it. I can tell whenever I got like an issue to bring up, I can tell you've been through it.
Yeah.
And you can relate to it. You almost like laugh at it. I'm like, I will say it's like a massive issue. I'm crying about it to you on the phone, and you come back to me saying that's fine because you've been through it, and you know, like everything, like all the bad things that come with it.
Exactly.
Like deep. That's what makes you as a business person. Like all the mistakes you go through.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the biggest things of like people in the community as well. Like I find this quite funny. I was speaking to Jack about this the other day. Of like, it's like somebody will join the community call. Maybe they've been in the program 1-2 months, and they ask a question, and I'm able to give them an answer that maybe is 1 to 2 minutes long, and they're like, okay, cool, thanks, Jack, like appreciate it. And it's like after I reflect on that answer, I'm like, you know, that took me like months worth of heartache to find out that. Like, when I went, like, it took me months worth of heartache to find that, like time, effort, so much money, like lost, everything. And like you guys just get access to that straight away, and I think that's like how you've been able to scale so fast, because I always say like, yes, we've got to a pretty good level. Like we did 600K in the 30-day period in a couple of months ago. So that was our record month, pretty much 600K. And that's 4.5 years into my journey. But genuinely, like if I had the support system that you had access to, I would be probably on a similar trajectory to you. Like to get to 100K a month, it took me like 3 years.
I know. Yeah.
And it took you like less than 12 months from zero, pretty much.
You did.
So yeah, I have no doubt that you're going to be hitting $500,000 a month within a year, really.
But I'll put it all down to relatability. Because you've been there. That's what I'll give it to. Because you've been there. You know what position I'm in. You know what mistakes you made. Yeah. You can tell me, don't make these mistakes. Follow this mindset. Follow this guidance. And then you actually will do everything.
What would you say is like one of the most incremental things that you've actually took from the program? Like, what do you think is the biggest thing that you've taken from it?
I think when we turned VAT registered, I know you went through a lot of trouble personally with that. Yeah. I was scared because I thought it would absolutely decimate our margins completely. I was like, this is like the glory days before being VAT reg. I thought after that it's going to be terrible. Like we're not going to make any money. But honestly, I think we actually made more money the month after we became VAT reg. Yeah. Sure, because our revenue went up just because we implemented the systems you taught us. Yeah. So I'll just say, keeping us prepared for what's going to come, you know, just because you've been there yourself.
That's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, that is true. Because I remember when you was go back registered.
Yeah, I was scared. I was like,
because like, what sort of margins are you hitting at the moment? So you're doing about 100K a month, but what sort of profit margins are you hitting?
I think in our highest month I think honestly hit 15%, which is very good.
So some of your products are like pretty good margin. Right? Like they're higher than, like when we were speaking the other day, like you would, like your average for the day was like 17 or 18% or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like that every day. That was like a very strong day, but it's very, very rare for us to fall under.
I mean, like if it's very rare for you guys to fall under the 15% margin at scale, like that is pretty impressive. So no, I appreciate you jumping on the testimonial.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's cool.